Hello everyone and welcome to my first YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to go through all of my 5-star reads for you guys. The first book is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This is one of my favorite books ever. Anyone who knows me in person knows how much I love this book. I read it about 2 years ago and I finished it in like 2 days. I could not put it down. And it's about a girl named Florence. She's a ghostwriter for a romance author, and she has a really bad breakup to where she's going through a writing slump, and she has to meet a new editor, and she cannot finish the book that she has to write, and he's like very hard on her about it, and she doesn't like him, and she was asking for like an extension on the book, but he's like, no, you have to give it in to me by tomorrow. And it's not done, so she's like freaking out about that. And then she gets a call that her father died. She's from a small town who owns a funeral parlor, and she's very well known in the town because she sees ghosts, and she helped solve a local case about a little girl when she was younger. And so she kind of feels like she was ran out of the town by the town people. And so now she has to go back, and then she's on her front doorstep and she sees the ghost of her editor. And she's like kind of confused because he doesn't know if he's dead or not. And he's like, she's confused, he's confused. So it's a ghost romance story, but I loved this book. I'm really bad at explaining things, so hopefully you get the gist of it, but it's a great fall read, and I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to get in that like fall type of spirit. It's definitely like around Halloween, October, because it deals with ghosts and like the supernatural. But yeah, I love this book and I highly recommend it. The Upside of Falling by Alex Light. I love this book. I read it for the first time 2 years ago. I was in high school when I read it, and it's a high school romance, and it's really cliche. It was a Wattpad story, but I feel like it's written really well for how many cliches are in it. She's the shy reader. She needs a fake boyfriend to get her old best friend off of her back because she keeps on like making fun of her for not having a boyfriend, for not having like her first kiss, because she doesn't believe in love anymore after her parents' divorce. And he has like the perfect family, like mom and dad. He's like really rich. His family like donates a bunch of money to the football team every year that he's on, and he like has like his plans set in stone. And she like doesn't know what she wants to do. She wants to write, but she feels like she's not good enough for it. So there's a lot of cliches in this book, but it's really good, and I feel like it's really well written, and it's very short, so like it's an easy read, and I love this book. This is one of the only books I can fully reread without having to force myself to reread it, which doesn't come by very often. So highly recommend, especially if you're in high school. I think it takes place in senior year, and so if you're looking for like a good happy story with a little bit of a plot twist towards the end, this one is a really good one. It's really predictable, but it's such an easy and fun read to do that I don't mind how predictable it is. So Night Shift by Annie Crown. This is also a Wattpad story, but this is also one of my favorite books. It's a college romance. He's the basketball player. She works at the library at the night hours, and he needs help finding this book, and it turns into a steamy makeout session. So it's an adult read, but it's so good. It's really predictable, just like The Upside of Falling, but it's an easy read, and I love this book. She's like the shy. She hasn't had like her first kiss yet, and he's like very well known, popular, very experienced and that type of thing. And It's just this is such an adorable read. I don't know why I love it so much, but it's just like an easy read. I think I finished it in literally a day. And it's just opposites attract. This is like the opposites attract book, and it's just so good. And I cannot recommend this book enough. If you need an easy sports romance read, this one is it. This one's it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. The next book is Unsteady by Peyton Curran. It's about a hockey player and a figure skater. She just wants to get through her everyday life of classes, skating, all of her family problems that she's dealing with. She wants to stop feeling so much because she feels like everything, and she like feels bad for everyone, and she tries to fix all of the problems that are going on in her life, even if they're not hers to fix. And he had a big injury in his last season. It took him out of a couple of games, and I think the rest of the season he has been having panic attacks and nightmares ever since his injury, and he wants to feel something other than his panic attacks and nightmares. And she finds him having a panic attack in the rink one day, and they both kind of learn more about each other and how to help each other, even though neither of them really want to, until they do end up anyways. It's a really good, easy read. There are like mentions of panic attacks, anxiety, stuff like that. So I would look at the trigger warnings. I just felt like it was a very easy read. I think I finished it in like a day and a half. But I love this book. It's one of my favorites, like one of my all-time favorites. And it's just like a good kind of like not like almost comforting read. Obviously, like it's sad in it, but it's not like evolved around sadness, and it's not only revolved around the romance plot either. There's subplots like his mental health, her need to feel like she needs to fix everything, and yeah, so that's Unsteady. The next book is Only Love Can Hurt Like This by Paige Toon. I received this book from my older sister for Christmas one year, and she randomly just picked it up off of the Target shelves because she doesn't really read. So she just picked up a random one, called it good, and I love this book. I finished it the last class of my school day when I started it, the first class. So you can tell that I could not put this book down. I don't think I did any work that day. Anytime we had work time, I was reading, which wasn't good, but I love this book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I reread it like once a year, and I got it 2 years ago, so I've only reread it once, but I'm gonna reread it soon because I love this book. It's about a girl who's engaged, and she figures out that her fiance is in love with someone else. So in order to heal her broken heart and fill the ache that she thinks will never go away, she goes and spends the summer in Indiana with her father and her stepmother and their family to like try and like get away from all of that. And she meets a guy who I'm trying to figure out a word to say, like how to say this without spoiling it. She meets a guy that has a secret that no one else knows but him and a few others from the wife he was married to. And he wants to get close with her, but he feels like he's lying to her because he's keeping this huge secret, and he feels like he's betraying everyone if he gets close to her. So it's kind of like healing them both in a way to where they both have to get over things that they're going through in order to be together and be happy and not have to lie to each other. And it's just, I don't think I can explain my love for this book. It's such a random book. I've like seen only a couple people talk about it on TikTok. And I love this book. It's one of my favorite books and it's like always on my mind. I read it so fast that I feel like I didn't savor it like I should have, but I reread it all the time. So like I know that I'm savoring it, but I just love this book. Like I'm in love with this book. So if you're gonna take one recommendation from this video, read this one. Read this one. And I'm really bad at explaining things, but read this one. Read this one. I love this book. If I could give it 50 out of 5 stars, I would. It's just, the characters are written so well. I feel like that I kind of resonated with some of them. And it's like following side plots that aren't just forgotten when it's not needed anymore, that they actually follow through with all of the side plots. And I love all of the characters besides like a few people that I can't remember right now. I feel like I definitely hate like one or two of these people, but I love this book. I love it so much, and I can never get over this. If I only got to read one book again in my entire life, it'd be this one. It'd be this one. Out of all of my books and all of the books in the entire world, I would only read this one. I love this book. Next book is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham, I think? Young. It's about a girl who has a hand disability. I can't remember the right word. She has a condition with her hand where I can't remember if her hand's in a fist, just like permanently, or if it doesn't, or if she has like up to like the first knuckle of her fingers. But he only has one leg, and they meet at a Halloween party and they have a one-night stand, but then she ends up pregnant. So she decides to keep it, and a bunch of things happen, and like this is one of the only pregnancy plot books I like so far. I know I've read a couple, I can't remember them right now, but this is one of the only ones that I actually fully enjoyed and feel like it was written really well. He's just, I love him. His name's Bo, and he's like so comforting to her because she's so scared that the baby is gonna have the same condition she has because she was bullied for it when she was younger. So she's like, well, if it's my fault if they do, and he's like just so comforting, and it's written so well, and I just love this book. I love this book. I love this book. I love this book. I don't think I can say it enough. I love this book. The next book is Archer's Voice by Mira Sheridan, which I feel like everyone has heard by now in the big year of 2025. So I'm not going to go into too much depth of this book because I feel like everyone and their moms have either read it or heard about it, because it was really big on TikTok in like 2022, 2023. It's about a girl, I read it a while ago, a girl who goes to a summer house or buys a house in this small town after a big traumatic event happened in her other, where she was before, and she doesn't like storms anymore because of it. And this guy named Archer, he lives by himself. He's mute because of something that happened to him when he was younger. So they both have trauma in their backstories, and they are working through it in on their own and sort of together. But they get really close, and she helps him realize things that happened that he didn't remember from before. And it's like kind of like a coming of age, but like they're both like in their 30s. They're both evolving into people after like working through what they've been through together. So it's a really good book. If you haven't read it, you should. It's a really good book. King of Greed by Anna Huang. It's the third book in the Kings of Sin series, which I haven't read all of them that came out yet. The last one I read was King of Sloth, which is the fourth. And I think the King of Envy came out. I think it came out a while ago. But this was the only 5-star read I had out of those out of the 4 that I've read so far. King of Wrath, the first book, I didn't really give a fair chance because I was in the middle of a book slump when I tried to force myself to read it. So then it took forever and I was like, I don't like this book. But this one is still my favorite. It's like kind of like a second chance. She feels neglected in the marriage because he's kind of like neglecting her because he wants to like make money in order to like give her what he feels like everything she wanted, because they got married when they were young and he didn't have like anything to his name when they got married. So like now he's trying to like make up for that. But she just wants him, and he's like kind of emotionally absent because he's like always working, and she's scared that he's cheating on her, but he's not. And then she decides she wants to get a divorce because she's like, you're neglecting me and I don't feel like you value me in the marriage as much as you used to. And then he doesn't want to get a divorce because he's still madly in love with her. She's still madly in love with him, but she feels hurt because he's like not there like he used to be. And then this guy is the king of groveling, making up for his mistakes. He is one of the only ones that I got mad at, but then he made up for it. I feel like he made up for it pretty well in the books. In this book, he does so much for her, and he realizes his mistakes and he fixes them accurately. I feel like I love this book, and if you're gonna read any of them, read this one so far, read this one, and then come back to me, because I love this book. This is a good book. I think I finished it in a day and a half. The next book is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I can't remember. This is the first book of the trilogy of the Knock 'Em Out. I have the other 3, and I think it's called the Knock 'Em Out series. I can't really remember because I read it a while ago. But she's on the run from her fiance and like a church, and she has like this really bad twin sister who has a kid who dumps the kid onto her, so now she's like a single mom to a kid who's not hers. And he's a barber who owns a dog, and it's a small town series, and they're all interconnected, and he just like, pretty sure it's like more of an enemies to lovers. I'm pretty sure they didn't like each other at first. It's a slow burn, but it's so good. It's so good. I love this book. And I recently had to buy a new copy because I lent it to someone and they never returned it. So for the longest time, I only had the last 2 books, just not the first one. So I eventually realized I'm never getting the book back. So I just bought myself a new one. I'm still upset about that. And now I make all my family and friends sign a contract before I give them their books that says if I don't return it, if they don't return it in the same condition as I gave it to them, they have to buy me a new one. Or give me the money to buy a new one. Because I have like trauma from that happening. Because I'm pretty sure she had another one of my books and just never gave it back. But I love this book. It is kind of drags on at the end a little bit, but it's enough things are happening to where you want to keep on reading to figure out what's like how it's gonna like work out. So I like this book. Single mom, kind of like grumpy neighbor. It's just such a good book. I love this book. I have 2 books, and these are my ultimate favorite books. And I feel like everyone should read this series, all of them. I just had to pick my 2 favorite, because otherwise I would talk about this for like 30 minutes, these books. The Tolman Boys series, especially Johnny and Shannon's story, Keeping 13 and Binding 13. I've read Binding and Keeping 13. I've lost track about how many times. I feel like I reread it once a month. I did Binding 13 for our school project, which is what these are, and I just love this book. I've annotated it like several times. I have both of the Keeping and Binding 13 special editions that are out. I love these books. These books are my babies. Johnny is my actual book boyfriend, husband, and I'm saying that when I am in a fully committed relationship, and he knows, my boyfriend knows how much I love Johnny, because I talk to him about it like all the time, and it's just, she is like she's in a poverty house. It's set in Ireland in 2005. That's when the first book starts. But her name's Shannon Lynch. She used to go to the community school in her town because her family is very poor. She was severely bullied in her last school, and she like always has been, and her father is an alcoholic and very abusive, and her mother kind of just lets it happen, and she has she has a lot of siblings, and she's the only girl in the house, and she's kind of like singled out by her dad, and she like then due to like one really bad bullying incident, her mother ignores her husband and starts paying to take her to Tolman College, which is the private school in another town, where she meets Johnny Kavanagh, and she's like perfect family. He has like lots of dogs. She's the only kid. His parents are like very rich, but his parents aren't home a lot because his dad is a lawyer. His mom is a fashion designer. Yeah, a fashion designer, and he is a big player in rugby. He has his like plan set out for him. He's gonna go to he's gonna go play for Ireland for rugby, and then he has this huge injury where it like he like ignores it. It's like not healing right, but he doesn't tell anyone because he doesn't want his dream to go to waste. And he doesn't do girlfriends. He only does like hookups with the same girl, but he doesn't do. My dog is whining. I'm so sorry. But then he meets Shannon. He hits her in the head with a rugby ball her first day of school, and he's just like infatuated with her. And I love these books. If you're gonna try and read one, buy both of them at once, because it just ends on a really big cliffhanger. So if you don't want to have to wait to buy the next one, just buy them both, because I made that mistake and I couldn't go to Barnes & Noble for like 3 days, and I was like on the edge of my seat waiting to figure out what happened. But there's a lot of books. Like, the series isn't done. I've read up until Taming 7. I have Redeeming 10, but I'm like kind of getting out of book slump, so like I haven't finished it yet. But I love all of the books. I love them. Like, I just love the Tolman Boys series, and anyone who knows me has tried to get me to shut up about recommending these books, and it has not worked. But none of them has read it yet, and they don't realize that I'll stop talking about it once they read it, because then they'll want to talk about it too. But I'm in the process of annotating Binding 13 for my best friend for her birthday. Her birthday was in August. But I was in a reading slump, so I have not finished that yet. But eventually, if you're watching this, hashtag, I'm sorry, your birthday present is almost 2 months late. Sorry. But read these books. I love this series. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the last one of the series, the ones that are in a series, is Daydream by Hannah Grace. I've read Icebreaker and Wildfire, but I didn't like them as much, because I thought I really liked Icebreaker at first, but then I reread it and I'm like, I don't really know how I feel about this anymore. It's like, I think I rated it 4 stars at first, and I think I knocked it down to like 3. But Daydream, I feel like, is a really good book. It's a lot less smutty, and it deals with other things besides smut. She needs help writing a romance novel. She needs to like experience things, and he offers to help that in exchange for tutoring in classes, and they become like friends. And he got nominated as captain, and he feels like he's not ready for it. But she like helps him work through it. He helps work through her like self-image problems and like her problems, and it's very much less smutty, which I like a lot, because it focuses on other things, and like there's like an actual plot to it, which I feel like a lot of people don't, is why they don't like the Icebreaker series or the Maple Hills series. And I also like it more because I resonate myself a lot with Hallie, and it's just, I feel like it's written a lot better than the other ones. Like, they're still good, but if you want an actual plot that's not just sex, skip them and just go to this one. Honestly, like, if you only want to read one, this one is the one to read, I fear. I love this book, and I feel like they've read it. Hannah Grace wrote this one a lot better than her other ones. But yeah, that's Daydream by Hannah Grace. If you had been with me in like this duology, oh my gosh, these books are depressing, but I love them. I love the If He Had Been With Me series or duology. I got my mom to read this, my little sister to read this. My mom didn't read a book for like years before this book. She recommended it to her coworker. My little sister, never seen her finish a book. She read this book. And she loves it. I love this book. I'm pretty sure there's still like tear marks on the pages. I have videos of me sobbing to this book. Some people don't like it. So just be aware, Autumn, the main character, wears a tiara in the books, which is a little bit weird to me, but at the same time, I like understand it. It's like, she's known as like the weird kid. She hangs out with the weird kids at school. She has a boyfriend. She gets a boyfriend named Jamie, who's like also a weird boy, like a weird kid. Finn, the other love interest, they were childhood friends. Their moms were best friends, and they like grew apart in middle school, or I think it was middle school or freshman year, and like they just like stopped hanging out. And he's popular. He's on the soccer team. He has like a cheerleader girlfriend, but like neither of them are happy with where they are, and they both like want to reconnect. I just love this book. There are some parts I don't like. Don't get me wrong. There are some instances, but the good outweighs the bad. In all honesty, it does. Like I love this book. I can't really tell you what happens in this one because it takes place after something happens in the book. It gives Finn's POV in this one for like the first couple, not couple, like the first for the first 150 pages, it's in his POV, and then I think it's in his best friend's POV. Autumn's again. So I can't really tell you anything about this one until you read this one. You have to read this one in order to understand this one. But if you want to just stop at this one, you don't need to read this one. It just kind of carries it on more, and you get to see a little bit of Finn's POV and his best friends. But you don't need to read this one. But I would. The next book is You'd Be Home Now by Kathleen Glasgow. I'm not gonna lie, I read this book this summer before my freshman year. And it's this summer. It's like the fall after my senior year now. So I don't remember much. I just remember that I love this book. I love all of her books that I've read. I've only read 2 of them, but like the point still stands. I've read Girl in Pieces also. I love that one a little bit less just because like I feel like it was kind of romanticized a little bit. But this girl, she has a brother named Joey who was a drug addict, and he was in an accident who killed a classmate, and that's kind of like, she's known for that now. She's known as like for her brother. Everyone kind of assumes she's also a drug addict because of her brother. And when she starts junior year, her brother's back from rehab, and people are still telling Emery, who she still is, but she doesn't feel like she is the same person. But it goes through her brother and her, like, not life, but like in the book, you see both of them slowly getting control of their lives. You don't have his POV, I don't remember. I don't think you do. I think it's all in Emery's. But you still see like him working through his, but through her eyes. So I really like this book. I would recommend this one more than Girl in Pieces. The next book is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I love this book so much. I love this book, but heavy trigger warning for sexual assault and rape. Heavy trigger warning. She has a crush on her older brother's best friend. He was a senior. She was a freshman. He was either a senior or a freshman in college when he raped her. But then it kind of goes through like her trying to like become a person who isn't the one who got SA'd, and like she turns into a completely different person. She like turns on like everyone, like all of her family, and it's told in 4 different points: freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. But she meets a guy in her sophomore, I want to say. I think it's sophomore year she meets him. But she doesn't tell anyone what happens. So they just view her as the girl who after she was SA'd, and she's like a completely different person. So it's like, but I love this book, and it tells it so well. And if you hate Eden, you hate me. And I take it personally because I love Eden with my whole heart. I love Eden. Like, she is one of my favorite book characters, and she deserved so much better. There's also a book, another one called The Way I Am Now, where it's like her getting her life back after it happens. But they're so good. I love both of these books. Highly recommend them, but heavy trigger warnings, heavy topics. The next book is You've Reached Sam by Dustin Tao, and he has another book coming out in November, I want to say. Can't remember what it's called. Whoopsies. But it's about a girl who had a boyfriend, but he died in a car crash when he was trying to go to her house because she was mad, if I remember. But she calls him one day just to hear his voicemail, and he answers, but she can only call him off of the SIM card that is in her phone right now. So it's like no one else knows, obviously. So it's like her having to move past it, grieve normally, and like not rely on having to be able to talk to him on the phone, and like he helps her through it. Some other people help her through it, but I just love this book. I read it also a long time ago, but also love this book. I think I finished it in literally a day and a half. So this is also a really good book to read. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Some people hate this series. Some people love it. I'm in the middle. I'm reading the 3rd book right now, and I'm really trying to get through it, but I'm in the middle of it. And I've been at the middle of it since I think December of last year. So it's been a hot minute. But this is the only one out of the series so far that I've actually liked reading and didn't have to force myself to read. Not sure why. I think it's because I do really like, I forgot his name because I haven't read this in a hot minute. Rysand. I don't know. I love this book. It's like the best one out of the series so far. I feel like they're really well written for the most part, but the author is very problematic, and I bought the 3 books before I somehow knew that, which I'm kind of mad at myself for not realizing sooner. So I need to figure out how to get these books without giving her any money. But I already have 3 of the books. But by the way the 3rd one's going, I'm not gonna read the rest of the series anyway, so I'm not too worried because I haven't even finished that one. It's almost December of this year, so we'll see, but probably not. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm wearing a new shirt that I got. It says, I can't remember, Ryerson, wing leader with a dragon. I also got dragon earrings, and I got a blanket that I'm sitting on, but it's literally, this goes up to my like calf, so it's not very big blanket because I don't know how to read measurements. So, but I've only read this one, but I love this one, and I'm trying to read the second one, but I'm still getting out of a book slump, and these are like thick books, so I will read the second one. I just haven't been able to yet. But highly recommend. Fantasy. I don't know how to explain this book. Dragons. There's a lot of dragons in it. I just love the aspect of this series. I love how it's written. I love the story building in it and the world building, and I just love these books so far. So, highly recommend. I also don't read much fantasy, so I need to get more I got Lightlark, and I think I got another one. No, I didn't. I got a fall one and another classic. But yeah, a lot of good quotes in these books too, and I love Xaden, and I love Violet, and I've cried like 3 times in this book. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is such an average white girl teenager book to read also. Fun fact about this book, I thought I would hate it. I don't read mystery very often. I got to like page like 150 or something the first time I read it, and literally put it down for like 2 months because I'm like, this book is so boring. But I picked it back up again because I wanted to finish it because I hate not finishing books. And I read like 3 more pages of it and I was hooked. So I would have loved to finish this book in a day if I kept on reading 3 more pages, because then I wouldn't have been able to put it down. But it's part of a trilogy. There's 3 full-size books and then 1, I forgot what it's called, 1 small book that takes place before this one. But it's about a girl who has to do a school project, and she decides to try and solve the case of this small town murder that happened of Andy Bell, because she believes that Sal Singh, the accused, didn't do it because he killed himself before he could fully say it himself. So she decides to re-examine it, and she eventually figures it out. She involves Sal's brother, Ravi, so like you get a little bit of romance in it, but it's very much like a side put to the back plot, but it still happens, and I love them together. But highly recommend at least the first book. I got my older sister to read this book, and she was obsessed with it, and that made her start reading. She like now has a Kindle, so I did that. Hashtag you're welcome, Josie. But if you're gonna read any of these, like any murder book, and you want to get into them but you don't know where to start, I highly recommend this one. It's kind of predictable, but at the end it's not, because like you think you figured it out, like, oh, like this person did it, but it was totally someone else. At least that's what happened to me. So I love this book. I've reread it. I've annotated it. And I tried to get my little sister to read this one, but she didn't finish this one, I don't think. But I love this book too. The next one is 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. It's about this group of friends who's trying to go on like a road trip, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, for spring break, and they get stuck, and it's based on like hours, like 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then I think it ends at like 4 or 5 a.m., I'm pretty sure. 6 a.m. But one of them is hiding a huge secret from the rest of them, and they need to figure out who it is so that that person can go outside of the van and get shot by snipers that are literally sitting outside the van that they're in. So they're like trying to figure out who it is. They're trying to figure out a way to like escape with all of them and making it out. It's just such a good book. I got bored a couple of times during it, but not too bad where I put it down. Like, I kept on picking it up even when I was bored. And I was only bored for like a couple of chapters at a time. And then I was interested, but then like a chapter or two I was bored again. So sometimes it can be a little slow. It can be confusing. I was confused at times, but I'm always confused reading these mystery books. So like, that's nothing new for me. So I'm just stupid. So highly recommend this book. Highly recommend this book. This book is This Is Where It Ends by Marieke Nijkamp. Moment of silence because I just butchered that name. It's about a school shooting, and in the book, I don't think it's based on chapters. Oh, there is chapters, but every chapter, so chapter 2 takes place during 10:02 through 10:04 a.m. and they're all locked in the auditorium, but they find all the doors locked, and then someone starts shooting at the audience, like in the audience, and like they're figuring out who it is, why, how to like get out, how to survive. Very heavy trigger warning. I read this book in school when we had a school shooting threat, and we had a meeting in, we called it the PAC, which is the auditorium. So I was literally shitting my pants during that entire thing because my genius brain thought it was a good idea to read a book about a school shooting during school. Granted, when I picked this book up that morning, I did not know there was a school shooting threat for my school going on. But I love this book. It was kind of slow at times, but you want to know what's happening. Like, you want to know what's going to continue to happen. You want to know why he does it, who he's going after, who survives, who sadly doesn't. It's just such a good book. I love this book, and it's so sad, and I cried reading it. It's just a really good book, and I highly recommend it, especially if you're in high school in America, let's just say. But this is where it ends. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you got some good recommendations, and I hope I explained all of the books decently well to where you understand at least something, and if you would like it or not. I'm not sure what my next video is, so I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Bye.